Oh, yeah. Here we go again. Here we go again. The snowman. They can't ban the snowman. He just keep on ticking. No matter how much they try to slow him down and stop him. Can't stop old Jeezy. Yeah, it's so there. But all that stuff, and it's what happens every time when people say, oh, this is going to be an amicable divorce. We're going to go through this quiet. That's just the beginning of the end. It's going to get crazy, especially when another side feel that they were embarrassed. And let me repeat this. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe to the page, all of those wonderful things. The Cash App is KARCENO. Um, you know everything already about subscribe to the Patreon and all those wonderful devices that's out there. So, without further ado, kick the title screen. Now, listen. Here's what happened to the Jeezy man. Now, we give this information not to be in everybody's business. I hate when they say that. Man, we just want y'all to respect our privacy. Privacy? Y'all publicly did all this. We didn't ask for y'all business. We didn't ask to have this blown up in here. We didn't ask to know y'all life, period. Nobody was going like, man, I wonder what Jeezy's doing today. Jeannie Mai. Wonder what she's doing. Or Mai, or whatever the hell she calls herself. Wonder what she's doing today. Look, I say this so that you guys can understand and you guys can have a clear picture as to what's going on out here in case you ever have to go through these things. So this is informative. And you want to take this knowledge and be able to apply it because who knows, one day you might be in this situation. There's plenty of reasons why people separate, divorce, the whole nine. And, this is just another problem that other people have to be faced with, and as for us, that is just another note that people don't really grasp. So back in 2023, what was it, like September, October, around that time? Jeezy just out of the blue, when his book was out there and she was promoting it using the baby, and they were going through a divorce, but Jeezy made it public. After seeing the post she made with her daughter, it's like, oh, look, this is daddy's book. So Jeezy had a fit, made everything public, and we was going through hell ever since. So now he wants to use the prenuptial agreement that they signed. And I tried to advise people, when you have a prenuptial agreement, it was signed the day before the wedding. Stupidest thing he ever done. Now it will be contested. She will contest the divorce. And if the judge don't grant the request and say that she's going to honor the the you know the what's this? It's more like a financial agreement, you know, that they have in place than a prenup. But anyway, let's just call it a prenup, right? So if they have a prenup and they going through all of this headaches, problems, etc., they going through the prenup. Then all of a sudden, boom, Now she says if the judge upholds it, she's gonna, enforce a clause in there that circles around infidelity. So there's a clause in there saying that there's a certain penalty you have to pay that will nullify it. So if the judge don't do it, she's gonna go for that route. And I don't think Jeezy's gonna be happy for that because then now she'll have to prove the infidelity. And I'm thinking quite sure most women can. Now, the divorce started getting ugly. I think it was supposed to be amicable. Everybody was saying, oh no, we respect each other. She's the love of my life. At one point, we got a kid. We both love our child. Now, both sides are saying they're fighting for control of seeing the child. Her mom and her family is saying that he hasn't been making his payments that he's supposed to be making, taking care of the kid, so he's not living up to his obligations. So all of these things are going in a way where allegedly old Jeezy was using his media team to go out there and spread lies that she was out here sleeping with Mario Lopez, knowing that isn't true. She's putting that out there. Well, somebody was putting that out there to make Jeezy look like the victim. And somehow his team and people around him were promoting that. So, of course, she's not going to like that. Now you playing dirty. So now she's finna get down and dirty. And these courts are designed for these women. She got some powerful lawyers. Now, what I was doing and what I was saying back in those days was let's go ahead and try to get this thing worked out amicably. Get some financial lawyers that know how to protect yourself from your assets. And if you're going to be an idiot and if you're going to cheat on your wife, be smart. Have a clause. Have something in there saying, "Hey, if I do, I'm gonna, you know, pay you X amount of money. If I bring you any diseases or anything like that, you got to basically structure your own marriage all the way to the end." So, what did old Jeannie do? Her and her mom starting to show that Jeezy hasn't been keeping up with what he's supposed to be doing, making appointments to get the child when he's supposed to. He's picking and choosing what he wants to do. And, they kind of don't want Jeezy's parents to have the child. And Jeezy's like, she's trying to restrict, the visit from the grandparents. So now the grandparents are involved. And this is how it gets ugly. Now the grandparents fighting over who could see their grandbaby and all this. And Jeannie Mai, she brings up another thing now in front of the judge, or that because he says she's trying to keep the child from me. He's trying to spread the narrative allegedly through the media, and she comes out with the drop bomb. I didn't say that. I didn't say that I don't want her around her father. I'm just concerned about the amount of guns that's around my child. Boom. Boom. So, January 25th of this year, the judge has had enough. Judge said, y'all come on in. Both of y'all have to be here at said date. I don't care what's on y'all schedule. Y'all showing up in here. This has gotten crazy. It's too stupid right now. So when you have a bunch of people who don't seem to understand anything that's going on, right? They don't have a clue as to what's transpiring out there. And now Jeezy wants privacy and don't want certain things in the divorce leaking out about his child. the divorce period. He's trying to get a gag order put on the case, but it's been too late. Y'all have made it messy already. Y'all were married for 2 years without really knowing each other, basing it off of how we look together, right? And what we trying to build a brand as a business. But when you are not thinking about an actual marriage, you're using it for business opportunities. There's people out there that won't do business with people unless you're married. And I understand that. So some people get married just to do business. That is the truth. They'll go out and get married just so they can do business. Because most people don't trust someone who's single. Single guy is kind of reckless. He can pick up and go whenever he feel like it. Married guy, he can't just pick up and go. He's got to do something. He's got a family. He's got responsibility and something that they can relate to because they have to go through the same thing. So when they find out you got kids, you got a wife, it's a lot more business comes your way. Trust me, I know. Now, now the legal filings that was made by Jeannie in December, she was talking about, I'm going to cast doubt on Jeezy's innocence, prompted him to deny any wrongdoing. And basically said she was forced into signing a prenup the day before the marriage. So to protect his daughter Monaco's privacy, Jeezy's requested the judge to seal all the sensitive personal and financial information, particularly to the details about his daughter, and the divorce. And he just doesn't want that out there because this could affect other business that he has going. When people see that Jeezy, it really isn't as rich as people thought, that could affect people doing business with him. So in his motion, Jeezy argued that the public nature of his divorce risked exposing sensitive information that could harm his daughter. He believes that keeping these details confidential is in the best interest of the child. So to request that privacy, both of them were in agreement on that to protect the child. But as she sees it, is like how it is. Jeezy's not out to protect the child, in a lot of us' opinion. Jeezy's out to protect Jeezy. That's all. Jeezy don't care about nothing but Jeezy. So he doesn't want people to see his financial records and what he's been doing. So, and they've been facing a bunch of public criticism of doing the split. Most people saying she was getting busy with this guy. She on TV talking about who she want to sleep with. She disrespecting Jeezy. So, and they don't realize most of that stuff is from old before she was even dating Jeezy. And the divorce proceedings continued, and everybody is seeing where the situation is now. And as Jeannie is in a Hollywood circle with Mario Lopez, NBC. She's part of that umbrella. So she is in that circle where they trust her. She can keep her mouth shut about things she has seen and things of that nature. We've talked about that on the Patreon. The Jamie Foxx video has got everybody in shock right now on the Patreon. Y'all never expected that. So everybody's waiting on part two. Here's the good news for y'all. Part two will be out tomorrow on the Patreon. You ain't even gotta ask. Why am I not showing myself today? Because today I am towed up. I was out all night kicking it. I am down and out in Beverly Hills. Down, buddy. The weather changed. It was real hot, then it got real cool. And then I'm just like, man, I could feel the cold coming on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be down for a minute. I don't know if I could do an hour long live stream no more. So I get myself back together. So that's why we went in this direction. Now, what does this mean for the rest of the people involved? Um, To me, it don't mean anything. I look at it from a different scale. Ti tried to give him some advice. And Snow's like, man, no offense, man, this thing is done. You know what I'm saying? It's done. But you kind of got your own thing going on. I don't think you the right one to tell me. Man, I tell you, I've been through all that, man. I'm the right one to tell you. This is very advantageous of you to take this opportunity. I'm trying to tell you expeditiously. It is time for you to step up and make the right decision. Is it gonna be cheaper to keep her? I tried to leave Tiny and I was gonna have to pay like 50 million in taxes. I can't pay that. So now I'm forced to stay with her because we a brand. It's cheaper to keep her. I tried to go do my own thing and rebrand myself, and that didn't work. Nobody want to see a 40-some-year-old rapper with like 15 kids. I can't be talking about the trap. I got to talk about diapers. So that's what's going on right now. It's us or else. Man, I feel you, man, but your boy Snow just feel that, man, we got it already. The lawyer is gonna take care of it. I'm gonna get out of it. It's all gonna be good. I appreciate you, brother. But yeah, we got this. Yeah, it's all there. Yeah, but I feel like I do need a shrink. Yeah, man. I mean, the majority of the people involved, they don't really see or they don't really care because everybody's focused on their own life. But they put all of this in the media, on the page, and the papers. So if anybody's listening, you should have a prenuptial agreement a year before you get married. All your financial agreements, if you're getting married, you should have it a year before your wedding. Therefore, she won't be able to contest it. She can try and say she was forced, but she had it signed for an entire year with no contestment before the wedding. So you can't have it for a whole year. The agreement was signed and dated and everything. And then here you come down the road. No, there's a lot of financial ways to protect your money. It's best to keep your money with you. Why is it best to keep your money with you? Because who's going to control it better, you or somebody else? You're not going to know what's going on. But if you got your 9 to 5, like Jeezy, he's a rapper, he got a tour, he got to do all this. So he don't have time to follow his money. NBA basketball players, a lot of them don't have time to follow their money. But you know what you do? You end up marrying these IG models. You know, why don't you marry some of these women who actually took up business, who actually took up accounting, who actually can protect you in the marriage? Somebody who's complementary to what you really need in life. I'm not saying date her for her occupation, but you're dating her for her body. So you knock her up and get her pregnant. Then next thing you know, you're getting married to her just to try to keep your image up. It's doomed from the start because it wasn't based on anything real. It's based on an arrangement. So you have to understand what you're dealing with when you first get into the marriage. So when you get a financial agreement done, you're going to need a lot of papers signed. A lot of papers signed. Now, When someone has an accidental death insurance, you don't have to put your wife as the beneficiary. I wouldn't advise putting your wife as the beneficiary in a situation like that because you just might accidentally fall on a couple of knives or go rock climbing and lose your grip. This is a situation where you don't want to be in, period. So you want to have everything covered. You want to make sure your children are protected. So you want to get a different type of IRAs. You want to get a coda. You want to make sure all these things are taken care of. There's a lot of paperwork. There's a lot of things you have to do to protect yourself financially. Get married in a state that don't allow prenuptial agreements. When they choose these destination weddings, that's what the billionaire did. He got married in a state that didn't allow prenuptial agreements. So they didn't even sign one. So when she tried to go divorce him, thinking she was going to get the money, they told her, "No, you got married here." She's like, "We don't live there. We was just That's where we got married." So, "Well, your license is here, so you're under the law of this country, and in this country, there is no prenuptial agreement. You can fight it in court, but your husband is not going to lose a dime." This is why people come here to get married. So you have to learn which countries have no prenuptial agreement on a destination wedding. So that means everybody in their parties leave. The state of Indiana used to have that. In the state of Indiana, if you got married, there was no prenuptial agreement. I don't know about now, but definitely in the 90s, there was Indiana, the state of Indiana, there was no prenuptial agreement. Whatever it said, that was it. There was no prenuptial agreement. There was no wiggle room. There was no way out. You were stuck. And that was just it. Now, here's the news. We have so many different people coming out doing things at a certain time, you know. And I feel that we have to be a little careful about how we're going to approach this, because the people that I'm looking at right now that's doing this are just so drawn out. Like they're so wasted. It just don't make any sense to go through the process. These people are not on the same wavelength as a lot of these other people that's in the game today. I'm looking at a lot of the people that gotten married, like Aisha and Steph. They have all these things taking care of their children because they had the right kind of lawyers to put them in a different financial space. And Aisha didn't come after him for his money. So she's like, "Look, I got these kids, so we're staying married." Like she doesn't want to be divorced. She's got a husband that still loves her and don't cheat on her. So, I mean, that was his first love, and he ended up marrying his first love. So, it just is what it is. Um, a lot of people they look up at the stars and the moon and all that garbage, right? And they start saying, "Oh, well, I want to find somebody that loves me for me and is gonna take care of me and this is that." Nope, sorry, not happening. Not happening. Now, Jeezy had a lot of investments that he was going through. He kind of got released, and they went their separate ways with Rock Nation. So it's a lot of projects that he felt that he should have been involved in, and they kind of went their own way. And since then, this is happening. But a lot of people didn't know Jay was almost in a divorce. Um, this was going back to the situation where they were saying you could go ahead and divorce Jay. This was early on, like in the marriage, and people didn't recognize what was happening because, once again, Jay was trying to force something. So when he did Kingdom Come, he wasn't with Beyonce no more. They had went their separate ways for a while. Before he was able to get her back. And then from that point, they ended up getting married. He got serious, wanted to change, but he didn't. He continued to be Jay. And it was more of a business for him than actual love. So that's just it, man. People gonna do what they do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you just got here. Hopefully, you guys understand what's happening here. The child is too young to understand what's going on, but they're the real victims in this situation. It's going to be a lot of messed up kids out here because of these celebrity children. These it's a lot of celebrity children, man, and they just out here roaming around, lost and confused. Uh-oh. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Man, we came up doing so much of everything. We were unique in that way, man. We were doing a lot at that time. It's a lot of people that just don't understand and get, what we be talking about 90% of the time. When we start talking about the greatest moments and entertainment and things of that nature, like people be sleep at the wheel. They just don't get it. We get it fully, you know? So don't forget to not only subscribe to Kwame Brown Bus Life, you know, I want y'all also to support the One Crack News page. In case you want more news and updates, you can get them there. I'll be okay. I'm a little under the weather, but I'll be back. Can't believe I got this far, you know? But Sino be back. You know what I mean? So shouts out to Welcome to HD TV. That's right. So you got Welcome to HD TV with the two eyes, Jag Sports with Jose Rodriguez, and definitely shouts out to Armando Black TV Shouts out to y'all who came in here and subscribed. I'm out. Love, peace, and hair grease. Cino's tired. Laid out. Exhausted. Man. Don't know how I made it this far.